Yeah, in the previous video lectures, we already have learned effect of intensity, effect of frequency, effect of stopping potential on photocurrent. Let us once summarize those all information which we have discussed in the previous video sessions. So number one is that for a given photosensitive material and the frequency of incident radiation above threshold frequency, the photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity of light. Photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity of the incident light. This is from the first graph. And the second one is for a given photosensitive material and the frequency of incident radiation, saturation current is found to be proportional to the intensity of incident radiation, whereas stopping potential is independent of its intensity. Saturation current is dependent upon intensity. Stopping potential is independent of intensity. That's number two. Number three, for a given photosensitive material, there exists a certain minimum cutoff frequency of the incident radiation. It is called threshold frequency. Below threshold frequency, there is no emission of photoelectrons. Above the threshold frequency, the stopping potential or equivalently the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectrons increases linearly with frequency of the incident radiations. So as frequency increases, stopping potential increases and the maximum kinetic energy of the electrons ejected also increases. That's number three. Number four, the photoelectric emission is an instantaneous process. It is an instantaneous process. Immediately when the light is incidented on the photometal, the electrons will be ejected instantaneously without any time gap. Even when the incident radiation is made exactly dim, even the incident radiations are exactly made dim, even then it is an instantaneous process. So this is the information which we have discussed in the previous video sessions. Yeah. Light is supposed to be both wave nature and particle nature. Newton corpuscular theory supports particle nature. But however, using Newton corpuscular theory, we cannot explain interference, diffraction, and polarization properties of light. Cannot be explained. By particle nature of light. So initially light is supposed to be particle nature. Newton also supported that, and Newton have proposed corpuscular theory even as well. But later Young and Fresnel, these are the scientists who have discovered interference and the characteristics of light like interference and diffraction are being discovered, and after that using corpuscular model we cannot explain interference and diffraction successfully. Therefore, later scientists have supposed that if we are considering light in the form of a wave, using wave characteristics of the light, we can explain successfully interference and diffraction and as well as polarization. Of course, polarization is one peculiar property of light because it is transverse in nature. And light is electromagnetic wave that was successfully explained by electromagnetic radiation by Maxwell. These all are developments of nature of light. So first, initially, light is supposed to be particle in nature. Using particle nature, we can explain reflection, refraction. After few years, interference and diffraction was being discovered. But using particle nature of light, interference and diffraction could not be explained by using particle nature. Whereas later, Huygens have proposed wave theory of light. Young have made some more modifications to Huygens proposals, and he constructed wave fronts, and he introduced parameters like wavelength of the light, frequency of the light, time period. So all these things, it has been introduced for a light wave by Young. Later, it was considered as light in the form of a wave. Considering light in the form of wave, we can explain reflection, refraction, total internal reflection we can explain, interference we can explain, diffraction we can explain, polarization is also successfully explained. They support wave nature of light. But the effect which we are discussing in this chapter, it is a photoelectric effect. Using wave nature of light, photoelectric effect could not be explained. We cannot exactly explain photoelectric effect. The electron emission from the metallic surface when light is incidented, it is also a property of light, but that could not be explained using wave nature of light. So photoelectric effect could not be explained considering light in the form of a wave. So many scientists, Leonard, Hedge and other scientists also have proved that when light is incidented on the metal surface, electrons are being ejected from that metal surface. We already know that. But so far the theories which are in existence about nature of light, it is particle nature, that is corpuscular model, and wave nature. Wave nature supports like most of the properties exhibited by light. So considering light in the form of a wave, if we are attempting to explain photoelectric effect, you are not getting good result. Scientists have failed to use wave nature of light concept in order to explain photoelectric effect. Then again, there was a mystery about nature of light, whether it is particle nature or whether it is wave nature. So for that, finally, the conclusion was made by Einstein, and later, now the present situation, we are following both dual nature. Whenever it is necessary, we consider light in the form of a wave. Whenever it is necessary, we consider light in the form of a particle. And the particle form of light is called a photon. And the wave theory of light, it was like in wave model, we consider frequency of light radiation. Frequency is denoted with nu, number of waves passing per unit second, and the wavelength of light, it is lambda, and the speed of the light, it is calculated as 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Exactly, it is equal to speed of electromagnetic radiation. And the speed equation is already been derived by Maxwell. and also young, and it is C equal to nu lambda, where nu is frequency of the light, lambda is wavelength of the light. So considering these suppositions, scientists have failed to explain photoelectric effect. Therefore, there is necessity to modify so far existing theory of light that was made by photon using Max Planck quantization rules that we will be discussing in the next slide. See, so far we are considering light in the form of a wave. Like before Einstein have proposed photon theory, it is supposed that light is in the form of a wave. So when light is supposed to be a wave, wave will have continuous energy emission. Like wave form is a continuous source of energy. It is not discrete. It's not discrete. It is continuous form of energy. So whenever continuous energy is being incidented on a metal plate, like this is a metal plate, whenever such continuous form of energy is being incidented on the metal plate, the electron is continuously absorbing energy. Okay. So when electron is continuously absorbing energy, it should at one point or the other point, all the electrons for particular frequency, for any frequency of incident radiation, because it is continuous source of energy, for any frequency, the light rays is being absorbed by the electron, and that electron should come out. But it is not happening practically in photoelectric effect. Only for the frequency greater than threshold frequency, photoelectrons are being ejected. But according to classical wave nature of light, it is not supporting that. That is one defect of wave nature of light. Next. So as the energy is continuous for the waveform, whenever the electron is absorbing energy continuously, when it comes out from metallic surface, it should have maximum kinetic energy. It should have more amount of kinetic energy. That's one more effect which wave theory could not explain practically in photoelectric effect. So these all are the failures of wave theory of light, by which we cannot explain photoelectron emission from the metallic surfaces. So first thing is that as the waveform is continuous energy process, so for continuous energy emission, for any frequency, electron should be ejected from the metal phase, but it is not happening practically. Only for threshold frequency and greater than threshold frequency, electrons are emitting out. That is happening in photoelectric effect, which is a contradiction from wave theory of light. So therefore, there should not be any threshold frequency according to wave nature of light. But here compulsory there is having a threshold frequency. So because wave theory failed to explain electron emission from the metallic surface, there is a necessity of modification of existing wave nature of light. So one more defect of considering wave nature of light is whenever wave is being incidented, when continuous energy is being incidented on the metal surface, electrons are absorbing this energy. For any frequency, the electron should absorb maximum amount of energy which is sufficient to knock out from the metal surface. Therefore, when electron is absorbing in the form of a wave, in the form of, if we are considering light in the form of a wave, electron take more time to absorb energy. So therefore, as it is taking more time to absorb energy, it should not be instantaneous process. But photoelectric emission is an instantaneous process. Immediately when light is being incidented on the metal phase, it is immediately ejecting an electron. But according to wave nature of light, it should not happen so, right? So contradiction number 1 is threshold frequency could not be explained by wave nature of light. Threshold frequency. And number 2, it is that instantaneous emission. Instantaneous emission of electron. So above two properties of photoelectric emission could not be explained by wave nature of light. So these two are the effects or basic features of photoelectric effect which could not be explained by wave nature of light. That's the reason why attempting to explain photoelectric effect by scientists using wave nature of light is a fault. Therefore, we need to modify the nature of light in order to explain photoelectric effect. And these points are very important for entrance point of view. What are the concepts wave nature could not explain in photoelectric effect? A question may be asked like this, and they may be giving you some features of photoelectric effect. Then these two are the features which could not be explained by wave nature of light. So when wave theory have failed to explain threshold frequency and also instantaneous process of photoelectric emission, Einstein have proposed the modified form of particle nature of light by introducing concept of quanta, that is packet of light energy. Packet of light energy, or you can call it as packet of electromagnetic wave energy as quanta called photon. So each packet of electromagnetic wave energy, it is said to be quanta, and that energy packet of light is said to be as a photon. It is said to be photon. So photon itself is light. So when light is incidented upon the metal phase, electrons is being ejected out. So we are considering that light in the form of energy, and that energy is a discrete packet. So according to particle nature of light, it is that photons have discrete energy. It is discrete energy, and each packet of photon has energy of h nu. E is equal to h nu, which is actually Max Planck have introduced this quantization of energy rule, and that is exactly inherited to explain photoelectric effect by Einstein. That's the reason why he used the same E is equal to h nu energy for small packet of energy of light, which is called photon. And E is equal to h nu. H is Planck's constant. Its value is 6.626 or 627 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. And nu is the frequency of the incident radiation. As energy is depending on frequency, you can see this energy is depending on frequency. Greater frequency photon has greater energy. Smaller frequency photon will have smaller energy, right? Therefore, In order to absorb energy for photoelectron emission to be taking place, a photon of sufficient energy should be incidented on the metal plate. So threshold frequency concept is successfully explained by photon nature of light, which is supporting particle, light in the form of particle. So therefore, Einstein photoelectric effect supports particle nature of light, and each particle of light is called a photon. And the unit of energy is treated to be as electron volt. So even although a photon can be taught as a particle of energy, it is still has a fundamental wavelength which is equivalent to that of propagating wave as described by the wave model. So see, we are considering light in the form of particle here, but even then we can write it as E equal to hc divided by lambda, since nu is equal to c by lambda. Therefore, photon do have wavelength and photon do have particle like frequency. Therefore, it also behave in the form of wave. Therefore, this model supports both particle nature and as well as wave nature. We are considering this photon, which is a particle, has discrete form of energy, and that energy can be written in terms of frequency and as well as wavelength of the light. So this is how photon is being introduced by Einstein in order to explain photoelectric effect. So far there is existence of wave nature of light, but now a new model called photon picture of light has been introduced in order to explain photoelectric effect. So we need to now characterize what are the properties of photons. Therefore, as a part of that, the first property of photon is that it behaves in the form of a particle, and each particle is called a photon. So a radiation will interact with matter in terms of particle. That's point number one. And each photon has an energy of h nu, and every photon has momentum. Momentum is h nu divided by c, where c is the speed of the light. So photon do have momentum and photon do have energy. Remember that. Number three, all photons of light of particular frequency nu or wavelength lambda have same energy. Any, like if you are considering some form of radiation, it can be cosmic ray, gamma, ultraviolet, infrared, any radiation, all the radiation have same energy, but only frequency or wavelength would undergo change. Corresponding to that, momentum would be undergoing change. So momentum is undergoing change. So whatever may be the intensity of radiation, whatever may be frequency or wavelength, the particle do have same amount of energy. That's the other point you need to remember. So by increasing intensity of light of a given wavelength, there is only an increase in the number of photons per second. So if you are increasing intensity, it means that number of photons are being increased. Therefore, each photon having same energy, thus photon energy E can be written as n h nu, where n is equal to number of photons, where n is equal to number of photons. And the fourth point is photons are electrically neutral. They are chargeless and they do not undergo any deflection by both electric and as well as magnetic fields. They are particles, but they do not have any charge. They cannot be deflected by both electric and magnetic fields. They does not undergo any deflection, unlike electrons and protons. This does not get deflected. And the number 5 is that in photon particle collision, such as photon electron collision, the total energy and total momentum are conserved. Total energy and as well as total momentum is being conserved. However, the number of photons may not be conserved. Energy is conserved, momentum is conserved, but the total number of particles or the total number of photons in an interaction may not be conserved. So some of them can be absorbed. The number of photons may not be conserved in a collision. The photon may be absorbed or a new photon may be created. Therefore, number of photons in an interaction will not be conserved. These are the 5 important conclusions which photon picture of light tells us.